question. How important is Pennsylvania? Is it a must-win state for you?
We have to win here. As I said last night, people in Pennsylvania know me. All of the negative attacks are, I think, going to fall on a lot of deaf ears here. And we've got a strong base of support here, and we're going to work very, very hard. And then we're going to get into May, and May looks very, very good.
Well, the former senator from Pennsylvania's fate may lie in the hands of voters in his home state. Rick Santorum has insisted he is determined to carry on, despite the growing assumption that Mitt Romney will be the party nominee. So here now to talk politics, radio show hosts Leslie Marshall and Mark Davis. Thank you both for joining us. Leslie,
good morning.
The polls now in Santorum's home state show him losing, possibly. Others put him slightly up. His 3-year-old daughter is sick. His wife is complaining he's never home. And the pressure is increasing from the GOP for him to get out of Romney's way. Do you see Santorum exiting?
Not
as
now.
As a Santorum guy, as a, well.
Oops.
Sorry, I did ask Leslie first.
Go ahead, Leslie. Go ahead.
Ladies first, Mark. Basically, I don't see him exiting right away, but we have to remember in 2008, I mean, you know, we had a clash with Democrats between our current president and now our current Secretary of State, you know, Barack Obama and Hillary Rodham Clinton until almost the end of June. And, you know, we're just at the beginning of April. So, you know, it still is enough time for him to get out. Eventually, he will get out. He'll have to get out. But as a Democrat, I say, play on. You know, guys, keep playing. Drag this out. I'm loving it.
And, Mark, there's the rub.
Well, here's what's funny, because here's the thing, and I'm intrigued by Leslie's take, because I don't think that she believes that Barack Obama or Hillary Clinton were ill-served by a long, honest, sharp elbows fight. And I think that all these calls for Republicans that, oh, we got to get behind Romney. We got to do it now. We got to do it by May 1st. No, we don't. Now, if that is the inevitable fate, as a Santorum guy, I'm here to tell you I think the Romney candidacy will be better than his harshest critics suggest. But in the meantime, before we get to 1144, fight on. And if Pennsylvania gives reason for a continued fight, if our own primary here in Texas, which is still like the 29th of May, changes the storyline, then let the storyline be changed. Why fear that?
So, Leslie, if Santorum does bow out, what would you think his future might be? Vice president or 2016 candidate?
Well, you know, I wouldn't rule out 2016 candidate. I don't know. My gut is that he's not going to be the VP on the ticket. Quite frankly, I mean, right now I think Mitt Romney's just saying who is going to appeal to women, because certainly that is the audience that we're seeing has a lot of, or voters that have a lot of power. But when it comes to you know, Romney, and I've always said this, in the 11th hour, Democrats do it on the left, Republicans do it on the right. Most people will get behind that guy. So even those conservatives who view Romney as more of a moderate and not a true conservative compared to Santorum or Gingrich, they will get behind him eventually, just like a Hillary gal, did get behind President Barack Obama in the 11th hour.
Mark, Leslie mentioned women.
It's the perfect.
Okay.
Just for 10 seconds, that is the perfect analogy, because all the embittered Hillary people realized, well, Obama's our guy, let's get behind him. 90-some% of all Republicans will do exactly the same thing. The Newt people, the Santorum people, even some of the Ron Paul people. If Mitt Romney is the only way to end this presidency, there will be enthusiasm. I'm sorry, you wanted to say.
No, that's fine. No, please, thank you for making your point. The question is about the independent women who were going Romney's way for a while, but now the polls show they're leaning toward Obama.
Well, as most women are going to vote Democrat. I mean, 55-45. I mean, whatever that might be. It is the Republican nominee's job, and all the candidates' job, and maybe some of the pundits' jobs, to get through the ridiculousness of this war on women nonsense. This is a war of principle. If some of it involves Planned Parenthood and abortion rights and forcing companies to offer contraception, then so be it. It is only the bitterest cynicism that portrays that as a war on women. Conservative women feel fine about it.
Leslie, what about the economy? You know, the latest numbers on job creation were a disappointment. The Republicans clearly trying to capitalize on that, saying his policies have failed.
Well, this is going to happen. I mean, I say that at this point between now and November, if Barack Obama walked on water, Republicans would say, it was low tide. So right now, seriously, the numbers are going to go up and down, and we have said this. Now, forecasters are saying we're going to look at summer. We are going to look at summer because before September, where economic forecasters are predicting is not only are we going to have job growth, gas prices are going to go down. That's going to help the president. On election day, it is not just what the numbers are, because Americans are not just about numbers, all of we are, but the masses are about feelings, and honestly it's their perception. That is their reality. How do they perceive the economy is in addition to whatever their number one issue is. If for women it's if for health care, for extreme conservatives, religious conservatives, it might be abortion, Roe v. Wade, that kind of a thing.
Right.
That's what's going to go push to shove. But as you know, there are going to be Democrats vote Democrat, Republicans vote Republican. It's the independents and the women that we're looking at in this election.
Mark Davis, you're going to get the last word here. President Obama's comments about Ryan Plan being social Darwinism, Trojan horse, etc.
I may shock the world. President Obama says the Ryan budget is radical. He is absolutely correct. So was ending slavery. So was the election of Reagan. It is sad but true that it is radical to talk about turning the ship of state in some responsible fiscal direction, getting rid of a whole lot of government that's going to make a whole lot of people freak out. But once this radical agenda is undertaken, the good news is you'll have more of your liberty and more of your money.
All right, talk radio show hosts Mark Davis and Leslie Marshall, thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you,
Thank
Patty.
you.